smart learners. Today you will learn about basics of C++ programming with the help of examples. Today's video's agenda is to learn C++ environment setup, basic program construction, white spaces, output using cout, string constants, directives, and comments in C++. First, let's create C++ environment. First of all, you have to open your Visual Studio software. This is my Visual Studio software. Now you have to click on Continue without code. Now you have to go to Tools and select Get Tools and Other Features. Now a dialog box will appear which will ask you for multiple features and languages that you want to install. So wait for a bit. Okay, it's showing us multiple languages, but the thing that we want to install is desktop development with C++. Yes, there are plenty of other tools and features as well, but for the time being we need desktop development with C++. Okay. Now the installation has begun. You have to wait for a while to get these things installed. After installation, it will ask you to restart your system. So after restarting your system, you have to again open your Microsoft Visual Studio. Click on Continue without code. And then click on Tools and Get Tools and Features. Now the same window will appear to your screen and you have to cross-check that whether the feature or programming language that you have installed is already installed or not. As you can see that this C++ language is installed after installation. Now we'll go to New and then we'll create new project. Then we will choose Console app and then click Next. Now name your project name. I'm writing it as my first code and then click Create. So as you can see that this is by default code. Now we'll write our own code. For example, basic program construction, we'll write header files such as #include iostream. Then we'll use namespace std. Now we'll write int main, opening bracket and closing bracket, curly braces. Now we'll write cout, insertion point, and we'll write the text. Return 0. And semicolon. Local Windows debugger to run this code, and we'll have a output screen which is giving us output of what we have written as in code, as in text in our code. So this is how we can construct our program. Moving forward to next thing, which is white spaces. The compiler ignores white space almost completely. White space is defined as spaces, carriage returns, line feeds, tabs, vertical tabs, and form feeds. These characters are invisible to the compiler. Output using cout. This identifier cout is actually an object. It is predefined in C++ to correspond to the standard output stream. And this operator is called the insertion or put to operator. It directs the contents of the variable on its right to the object on its left. In first, it directs the string constant every age has a language of its own to cout, which sends it to display. This is how you can visualize it. Now we will discuss what are string constants. The phrase in quotation marks every age has a language of its own is an example of a string constant. As you probably know, a constant, unlike a variable, cannot be given a new value as the program runs. Its value is set when the program is written, and it retains this value throughout the program's existence. Two ways of handling strings are commonly used. A string can be represented by an array of characters, or it can be represented as an object of a class. Now we will discuss what are directives. The two lines that begin the first programs are directives. The first is the preprocessor directive and the second is a using directive. They occupy a sort of gray area in the Visual Studio software. They are not part of the basic C++ language, but they are necessary anyways. Now let's discuss std : cout. Every age has a language of its own. So if you are not going to use that previous using namespace std directive, then we would need to add the std name to many programs elements. For example, in the first program we'd need to say std : cout. Every age has a language of its own. To avoid adding std : dozens of times in programs, we use the using distinctive instead. So it makes things easy for you. Now we will discuss what are comments. Comments are an important part of any program. They help the person writing a program and anyone else who must read the source file understands what's going on. The compiler ignores comments so they do not add to the file size or execution time of the executable program. So when we are going to use the comments are almost always a good thing. Most programmers don't use enough of them. If you are tempted to leave out comments, remember that not everyone is as smart as you. They may need more explanation than you do about what your program is doing. Also, you may not be as smart next month when you have forgotten key detail of your program's operation as you are today. Use comments to explain to the person looking at the listings what you are trying to do. The details are in the program statement themselves, so the comments should concentrate on the big picture, clarifying your reasons for using a certain statement or group of statements. So let me show you a way that how you can add those comments. This is our first line. Let's copy it and make some of the lines. Now put double / and add your text that this is my first line, this is my second line, and this is my third line. So now let's run it. As you can see in output, all of the text written in the code is printed, but no comment line is printed. The second way to write the comment is like this. Let's practice this too with the help of code. First of all, you have to put / and then asterisk. It will automatically put all the code. Now you have to insert asterisk and / till there in the code where you do not want the code to run or where you want to comment something out. So the output will show us only one line as we have commented rest of the two lines. So this is how alternate syntax of comment works. So this is all from my side. Thank you so much for watching the video.